First experiences with Total B.S. According to Reddit, number 13. My little sister pushed me down the stairs, and then I got in trouble for antagonizing her. She wouldn't just do that for no reason. You did not know your daughter, Mom and Dad. To my knowledge, it was for no reason. It was the morning, so I hadn't even gotten the chance to piss her off. Also, it wasn't the first time that she had done it. It was just the first time that my parents got involved. You know they're great parents when they don't get involved and they don't have the full information, but they just assume, you know. Man, I hope they just stay in good health forever and don't need anybody to take care of them. Shit. Pieces of shit. Can you imagine? Your kid gets pushed down the stairs. And, it's their fault. How dare they? Boy, number 12. When I was in kindergarten, we had this thing where you had a grid of boxes, and in each box was a word. You would have to cut out each box individually, then arrange the words in some order. After a few months of cutting out each box like we had been shown, I figured that cutting out the rows and putting them on top of each other so that the boxes lined up and cutting them out like that would take a lot less time. The teacher saw me do this, and I had to stay in at recess to cut them out the right way. Yeah. You're gonna learn that in life, sometimes you are given busy work, and you need to stay busy. Because if you don't, a hello to Ariana, Linda, Pandaren, and Valana in the stream chat. Here's hoping that your day hasn't been entirely unbearable, and that it only gets better from here. To anybody watching after the fact, hope you guys are doing well, and I hope that things are making sense for you too. Like the video, and check the description for the links that may be appropriate to your needs. Number 11. My mom would ask my opinion on things constantly. I would say it didn't matter to me, or whatever she thought was best. But she would force the issue until I finally answered. Then she would scream at me about how I didn't understand, or I was an idiot, or I never thought of her needs. I still panic a little when people ask for my opinion on something. You know, the sickest part of parents is that some of them are just bullies, and that in the absence of something to do, the attention maybe they crave, or maybe even like the absence of a significant other, you know, these single parents will just torment and use their children as a sense of, I want to say just turn them into a punching bag. You know what I mean? They're an outlet. And what's terrifying is that they're traumatizing these little bastards in ways that they're not even aware will follow them for the rest of their lives. And these kids develop these complexes, these holes in their life that they run around trying to get filled. They'll be fucked forever because many of them will assume that it's genuinely their fault and that they've done something wrong. The only thing worse than the type of parent that can have one of their kids pushed down the stairs by the other kid and then blame the kid who got pushed down the stairs is a world where the kid who got pushed down the stairs and is then blamed by his parents believes that he's the one that's in the wrong. It's sick. It is sick. I wish I could somehow interface with everybody, you know? Maybe in the future we'll be able to link in a way, in a virtual way. Hello to Chrissy B and to Linda. Linda asks how my stomach is. It's better now. And that's allowing me the opportunity to get this list out. Number 10. I was asked to watch the rectory on Friday nights so that the priests could have a night off. I was 12 years old. My job was basically to accept food that was brought in by parishioners for the priests and find a place for it to be placed in the overstuffed double glass door refrigerator that was as wide as 2 refrigerators. I accepted fully cooked roasts, hams, casseroles, and cakes. I was told not to eat anything. A few months later, I was made to clean the convent with a couple of nuns as punishment for talking too much in class. Their kitchen had a tiny refrigerator, and when it was lunchtime, they opened a cupboard of expired canned goods. We had very old tomato soup for lunch, with stale bread and milk made from powder. I asked them if they knew about the food over at the rectory, and they said no. Jesus Christ. It's only absolutely hilarious because it's supposed to be a religious thing. You know, all about giving and your fellow man. But nope, it's just like everything else. And that hierarchy is very finely defined. So you commoners will eat like the dogs you are. You will feast and dine on the scraps, the expired, and wallow in the mud while we discard the excess food and continue to live in luxury. Hallelujah. Number 9, boy. Who threw that paper airplane at the teacher? No one is confessing? All right then. Everyone is punished. Well, yeah, I don't like this either. It's like they trying to make everybody a snitch. Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to make everybody a snitch? What's wrong with you? As we continue to number 8. In preschool, my mom gave me a book of math problems and said if I got them all done by the end of the day, I'd get a reward. I did the shit out of those math problems. Let's deliver that one again. I did the shit out of those math problems. My reward was a hug. I felt like Patrick from the Valentine's episode of SpongeBob. Oh boy. You get what you deserve, okay? Number 7. My mom, you don't lie to others. Also my mom, getting caught red-handed while telling a lie, and I call her out on it. You already know she ain't gonna admit to that lie. She just gonna be all like, well, what about this thing that you did? Parents are trained goalpost movers, boy. They ain't gonna admit shit. They ain't gonna admit shit. And if your parents are particularly assholish, man, they're gonna just become so Karen, so entitled, so obnoxious that before you know it, they've lost the meaning of the word please and thank you. But if you don't use it, boy, it's a nuclear event. It is a Chernobyl tier radioactive event. Funny stuff. Is real funny. So there's probably like added layers of irony as well if your parents happen to be religious, because is writing that corny ass book of fables that are supposed to keep these bastards on the right track. It's funny how many people are religious as fuck, but they also racist at the same time. Pretty wild, man. It's just funny. It's just funny. Like, y'all pick and choose what things to live by, I guess, and that's fine. But the idea that you should be living by the treat others as you would like to be treated, but you can't even admit. Ugh. And then you Pikachu face when nobody wanna. Come on now, please. Ugh. Number 6. When our teacher would yell at us if we asked to go to the bathroom at the beginning of class because we should have gone earlier, and then yell at us if we asked to go in the middle of class because we were interrupting. And then she would yell at us if we wanted to go at the end of class because we're just trying to ditch since the class is almost over. Piss in the fucking wastebasket. Unless you're a girl, in which case you could piss in a cup and then leave it on a desk. You know? I let me tell you something. I'm lucky I made it out of school without fighting somebody as far as a teacher is concerned, because I wish a bitch would deny me the ability to use a bathroom. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I just get up and walk out of class. You know what I mean? Were you telling me I can't go to the bathroom? I'd be like, hey, we got a class full of witnesses. I have to use the restroom. This isn't like me trying to skip class. You know, I got better things going on than trying to fuck around right now. If I didn't want to be here, I straight up wouldn't have showed up. So I'm leaving now. You know what I mean? I was only asking you. It's kind of like a formality. It was just like a kindness type thing. Try to tell me I can't go. I dare you. You know my favorite story is making that one dumb bitch in class cry because she couldn't keep her shit together. And again, this is exactly why women get such a bad rap, is because in situations where the emotions take over, of course they're going to be compared to their male counterparts. And in the situation that I'm talking about right now, we were clearly getting like leftover frustration and pissiness from a class that had nothing to do with us, you know? So if you can't get your shit together and treat people accordingly, you need to just calm the fuck down. You should have become a cop, not a teacher. You out here getting mad at everybody when we aren't the ones that are responsible for what the fuck went down. What's wrong with your bitch ass? What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with y'all? I need that on a soundboard. What's wrong with y'all niggas? Number 5, boy. The first time I was followed by a couple of guys in a car. I was 12 years old. Oh my God. I ran to the nearest house for help and I asked them if we should call the police, and they said no. Ooh. Looking back, I think they were wrong. Well, I hope they didn't find a target. Linda says, hi Hilda, and hello to Hilda from me. Stripes says, you ever fight with another student? Stripes, I was getting kicked out of school for fights like nobody's business. I've probably been in over 40 fights before the time I reached middle school. I just didn't get along with anybody and I didn't want to be there, and it sucked. You know? I didn't have a problem with the curriculum. I was actually really good, you know, at absorbing everything I needed to. But I, from a young age, really just felt like school was like a little jail. It was like what I would call a playpen for us to grow until we were old enough to go to high school or college. And I can't tell you, that really reached a boiling point at middle school, man. I was losing my mind. I thought this was all so irrelevant and so dumb. And we had all these ridiculous fucking rules as far as like tucking your shirt into your pants and shit. And teachers would literally be like, okay, you know, if you can't follow the rules, then you'll leave. And I would just get up and walk home, dude. It was fucking stupid. And I remember in class in middle school, I would say shit like, I don't think any of this matters. And if y'all keep me back, you know, then I guess it'll have proved me wrong. And I don't remember being kept back in middle school, dude. So what the fuck happened? I think I had 36 consecutive absences. Imagine not showing up to middle school for a fucking month. I did that shit. I don't wear that shit as a badge of honor. I'm not proud of that. You know what I mean? But when you're at a stage where you're feeling like you're not learning anything, and it's not even like I wasn't at a good school, it was just not for me. And that's what breaks my heart. Is maybe that's my youngest realization of bullshit, is the idea that not everyone is meant to fit through certain molds. And am I saying that I would have been incapable of going to school and doing what was necessary? No. And in some professions, it is necessary that you basically jump through those fucking hoops. Do you know what I mean? And if you're going to become a doctor, you're going to become a lawyer, you need to familiarize yourself with this. You need to touch bases here. You need to learn these things. You need to do what other people can do and demonstrate your capacity for, I want to say, consistency. And I understand that. But do I believe that the whole sit down in a fucking room with 30 other niggas that happen to have been shit out by their parents and decided to live in the area around you is the best way for some people to learn? No, I don't think it's the best environment. And I think as we move into the future, we definitely need to see some ways of the way of teaching adapted. Because even what we were learning, dude, like, let's forget about the environment and just think about like the structure of how we learned in school. It was nothing that you're going to retain. It was nothing that was practical or necessary. It was plenty of shit to cram for a couple of days so that when the test came, you could answer the right question. And after that, it could fly out of your head for the rest of fucking time. They didn't instill any kind of thirst or, curiosity. They didn't instill anything that would make you want to run home and open a book. It was like, here is your mandatory reading. Here are the things that you need to familiarize yourself with. When the test is done, you have to familiarize yourself with some new bullshit, and here's the new mandatory reading. And it's just like this cycle of AIDS. And the comedy is, when you look at fucking the work, some of the places that people work, yeah, baby, it is monotonous. It is mundane. It is typical. It is the same type of bullshit. Work is work, though, And I'm not saying that everybody should be able to pursue their dreams and do whatever they want because sitting at a desk is wrong or some shit like that, dude. To each their own. Whatever makes the money, whatever allows you to live your best life, as they say, hey, and should nothing come between you and that. And in many ways, let's just say, school as I know it when I was coming up may have been the perfect preparation, in that you were just jumping through dumbass hoops for an adult life where some people are just going to jump through fucking hoops. But it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And I don't want to cite stupid shit like, oh, well, look at some of the people who are in the highest positions or wealthiest positions. They didn't do school conventionally. It's really not about that. There are going to be some people who go to school and they are super successful. There are going to be some people who go to school and they're not. There's some people who drop out that happen to be super successful and some people who drop out that are not. It's just, we are products of our environment, the pressures, the variables, the living conditions, the parents, the parent, or perhaps nobody around us, you know what I mean? Some people are orphans, some people live with their grannies and grandpas and all kind of shit like this, man. It sucks. It's a dice roll. It's wild. Some people can jump on a skill because they have the, I want to say the backing, whether it's support financially or just support in general, somebody giving them a ride so they can fine tune this skill where they're bouncing a ball up and down a court. Maybe they're learning how to run. Maybe they're learning how to, how to teach. Do you get what I'm saying? To make some money, to advance themselves. But brother, the system as it is, shit. And I want you to know, some of these teachers are in the most pivotal positions of anybody in the world. Okay? Because yeah, your parents can fuck you up, or your parents can set you up. You know what I mean? But when those kids go to school, and maybe this teacher's got a chip on her shoulder, maybe she's mad about her own life, she's mad about how she's been treated recently, and she takes that shit out on those kids. She takes some of these kids' dreams and their aspirations and the likelihood of them succeeding in specific areas, and she knocks it out of their fucking hand. Some kid that could be an artist, and she confiscates that fucking notebook he's drawing in because you need to be paying attention. Do you get what I'm saying? Some kids that, maybe they want to go forward and build things, invent things, become engineers of some variety, but you see them dismantling something and you just fucking, you motherfucker, you broke that. You know what I mean? It's not unreasonable at the end of the day, but you have no idea how you're affecting somebody's life. And it's crazy, but we don't possess the capacity to put on a helmet or put on some glasses and see the alternate timeline where things had gone differently. So there you go. What can we do? Hope for the best. Number 4. I was 4 years old in preschool. We were having Water Day, which was the day full of water-based fun activities. Little kid me had been looking forward to this for weeks. Before we had free time to enjoy all of the water games and kiddie pools, we had to do some mandatory team building games. Oh shit, I'm looking at red on OBS. So you guys are going to want to give me 1 second. Let me try and correct this, okay? Love you. Allow me to try to... Man, I should probably try to ride this out, but it keeps going into the red. Tell me if anybody's suffering inconsistencies, and then I'll try something to boost it here, because it is going bad into the red. Okay, there you go, OBS. You'll be alright. Should be good. So to start this entry off one more time, I was 4 years old in preschool and we were having a water day, which is a fun day full of activities, water-based. Little kid me had been looking forward to this for weeks. Before we had free time to enjoy all the water games and kiddie pools, we had to do some mandatory team building games. The fuck? There was this girl who hated me for no reason, and of course I got put with her. We were doing this game where we had to pass a solo cup full of water down the line of kids as fast as possible. So the cup gets to me and I try to hand it to her. She stares at me for 10 seconds when I hold this cup like a jackass, waiting for her to take the damn cup. Our team loses. She grabs the cup and splashes it on herself. She starts screaming, bawling. Teacher comes over and she babbles about how I wouldn't give her the cup and then threw it at her when we lost. I get left alone in the music room all day staring at the gray walls while the rest of the class got to have fun playing in the water. It was such bullshit, it formed a core memory. Ladies and gentlemen, if you pass in water down a line of kids, surely at least everybody in your line of kids is hyper aware of what is going on in your line, because they want to basically make sure that they got somebody to blame if they don't win. How the fuck did nobody say anything? This is what really makes me crazy, is when shit goes down and people don't say anything, you know? That's why everything's so bad with the police right now. Because he's unresponsive, doesn't seem to really click with any of the murderers on deck. I guess when you wake up and you need to kill yourself some darkies, that's what you're gonna do with your day. Because criminal all the way and you wear your badge and blue. That's what you do. Long story short though, these little dirty little motherfuckers should have said something. I'm really sad, salty about that. Those little kids. He edited the hell out of this. I don't know why you're giving us information about the girl like we want to know what she grew up to be. You know? I don't blame her or wish her any ill will. Yeah, she was just a little dumb cunt. Little girl testing the waters of how unbearable she can be. That'll grow up into her ruining lives and then ruining her own. And then blaming everybody else for it. He threw the water at me. Oh my God. You know, I guess she was too stupid to take a cup of water and pass it to somebody else. And now we all got to pay for that. But the real criminals are the people, are her accomplices that said nothing when she did that, and then the teacher came over and just assumed. Was the teacher a lady too? Don't let me see that. She starts screaming and bawling. The teacher comes over and she babbles about how I wouldn't give her the cup. I get left alone. We don't know what's going on with the teacher. That's okay. Either way, it's a pretty hilarious assumption. Number 3 on this list, I was bullied a lot in elementary school. To be fair, I was a pretty easy target for bullying. Roast Me would have had a meltdown. You remember Roast Me? You know, ain't nothing but normies on that goddamn page right now. Let's go to Roast Me right now. A 29-year-old begging for attention. Split her tongue. Doesn't she look tired? Doesn't she look tired? Oh my God. Some girls really make it work, you know, into their old age. But some girls, boy, they got up until they're like, what, 26, 27? And then, Jesus Christ, but maybe she's a mom though, you know? And God bless her, as rude as it is to say, she is on Roast Me. But, you know, girls with big titties, they do not hide that. Them titties take up a good portion of their profile pictures, their images that they share. You come in to Roast Me, you want attention. You get what I'm saying? It's not just a thing that happens. But the fact that them titties are not on display means that they are MIA. Titties ain't on display, them titties MIA. Let's see what the comments say. She's super interesting though. She doesn't dye her hair. That's pretty impressive for a woman her age. Looking for a little bit of internet attention. She did not dye her hair, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Props. Credit where credit is due. Okay. Oh, wow. OP's bio? This is a roast bot? I am a body mod enthusiast and body suspensions facilitator and performer. I've read enough. Okay, what is the... Somebody just wrote roast me because of her tongue. Get it? Weak sauce, my dudes. You look like a plain ass woman with 2 chicken livers in your mouth. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. 2 chicken livers. 2 chicken livers. Chicken nutsacks. You know what I'm talking about? Ew. One more. 2 tongues, 1 A cup. Wait. Let's get out of here. Okay? Before we get in real trouble. Even though they asked for it. This is a consensual thing. Okay? Listen, I was a pretty easy target for bullying. Roast Me would have had a meltdown not knowing where to start. So every day at lunch and recess, I would get chased and harassed by 4 other boys. One day, the teacher assigned to keep order on the playground grabbed me and told me to quit running. 4 boys began pushing and taunting me, so I started running again. Next thing I know, the teacher grabs me by the arm and starts to paddle me. Teachers could do that back then. She missed my ass. Ew. Okay. So let's read the whole sentence because, you know, context matters. She missed my ass and caught me in the back again. So I cussed at her. Bitch can't even spank right. You know what I mean? Spank the butt, you dumb bitch. She sent me to the principal's office. You know, this isn't the way that principal is spelled in this entry. But I do like that the idea of an office with a bunch of principals like on the wall, like principal number 1. Do not mix the Skittles with the M&Ms. Okay. Only a monster would do that. Can you imagine just like, oh, some M&Ms. Oh, what the fuck? You know what I mean? You're just not expecting it. You know, it's nothing wrong with Skittles, but you don't want it in your M&Ms. Principle number 2. Okay. If them titties big, she don't have to learn a thing. You know what I'm talking about? But if they small, you need to find some interest, y'all. Okay, look, stop. You're bad. What was my lyric in that one song? She got a personality because her titties itty bitty, but to get my attention, I need about 350. No time for laces, I Velcro. I stay in shape with that tie bow. I oil my pants with that Crisco. And like Miyazaki, I'm high. Yo, Hayao Miyazaki. Majibli. That's gotta be like gibberish to somebody who doesn't know who Hayao Miyazaki or a Ghibli film is. How sad if you don't know Ghibli. You need to sit your ass down. Which movie you recommending? You got a folder full of these. Go look at the folder real quick. If you'll excuse me while I go into my folder. I got a Studio Ghibli collection. Alright, let me look through. Let's see here. Castle in the Sky. Howl's Moving Castle. Kiki's Delivery Service. My Neighbor Totoro. Nausicaa the Valley. What do you I don't want to be that guy that's just like watch Spirited Away, but I think Spirited Away is accessible, homie. What do I say? What am I supposed to do? I didn't do it. I didn't make it. It's just accessible. Watch that one. So look, she sent me to the principal's office and I was told what happened. And he shook his head and then had me stand up and take 3 licks from his paddle. The 5th grade is where I learned the world was utter bullshit. I imagine like during the paddling, like if we were to shoot the scene, it would just slowly pan in on his face, where you would basically hear like the impact of him taking it, and maybe his face like kind of like tightening with anger, and then we have like a voiceover that's just like, "This is the day that I knew. This is the day that I would burn it all to the ground." Pretty cool, man. Hypothetically in this movie that we're shooting. Come on, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? As we roll up this list, we arrive at number... Whoa, I just saw something weird. Hold on. Dude, things I have are always getting moved, and I'm literally about to go nuts. Whatever. As we continue up this list, forgive me, we arrive at number 2. When I was in 3rd grade, I got suspended for being beat up on the playground. They had a 0 tolerance policy for violence, and I took a swing. I got punished for being bullied. Well, as long as we learn at a young age that fairness isn't something that I guess the world has in any kind of huge supply. I almost said long supply because that's the opposite of short supply, but it wouldn't be right, would it? Number 1. My mom found a cigarette in the backyard, accused me of having stolen a friend's mom's cigarette to secretly smoke there, and grounding me for it despite me not having done any such thing. I was 9 years old at the time. Alright, Mom. How do you not mock your mom in a situation like that? Oh yeah, I stole it and put it in the backyard? Mom, that makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah, what are you, an idiot? What are you, an idiot? God, my God, Mom. Get a fucking grip. Can I go back to playing video games now? Like, if I smoked, would I, like, oh my God, cigarettes, Mom? What year is this? Your whack ass. If you found some weed back here and said some shit like that, maybe it would be believable. You are so fucking gay. God, Mom, leave me alone. Oh my God. So bad. Bet you never played a battle royale in your life, Mom. Jesus Christ. Show me how many victories you have. Oh, none? 'Cause you think little kids are smoking cigarettes, Mom? What the fuck? I'm 9 years old, Mom. Mom, 9 years old. Lizzo says, I'm super sleepy, but I dropped by to say hello and that I hope you're doing well. I hope that I can do well in the future as well. You said well twice in that sentence. Can't say I'm proud of that. Seraphin says, to attend Kyle Park, you must pay extra if you're flat. Hey, Kyle Park. The implication being like, there is a, you must be this busty to ride line or something. Y'all are ridiculous. Okay. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti cutting $100 to $150 million from the LAPD budget. Funds to be reinvested in communities of color. Well, they get what they fucking deserve. They get what they fucking deserve. And if y'all hear me say that and it seems like you don't have sympathy, it's because you're not watching the same world that people are watching. Here go to LAPD right here, busting drive-bys on people. You know what I mean? Hitting people's cars and shit. That's dope. Can you imagine just having your car wrecked by police on the way by? I'm surprised the police don't hit the other cars, We live in a world where the police are doing the drive-bys, you understand? But a lot of white people right now are convincing themselves, oh, well, they deserve it. Oh, well, it's not as bad as they're making it seem. Oh, well, it's just they're so triggered. They're so sensitive and they're so insecure. At the end of the day, a lot of these whiteys don't understand the phrase Black Lives Matter. And what it's supposed to mean is that they matter as well. Black Lives Matter also. But when whitey hears that, when racist whitey hears that, they go, what? What are you saying, that white lives don't matter? Nobody said that. Nobody said that. If that's what you heard, okay. Appreciate what that's what you are hearing. What? All lives matter, okay? Yeah, we still trying to reach the equality part though. So that's cool. Maybe soon. Hey guys, Trump's own former defense secretary just compared him to the Nazis. Oh snap. James Mattis denounces President Trump, describes him as a threat to the Constitution. Okay. Trump is talking about using tanks to quell the George Floyd protests, but the Pentagon is getting cold feet. Okay. Quote, according to a call leaked to the Washington Post, Esper told governors that the National Guard stands ready to assist and urged states to dominate the battle space of protests that have turned violent. Of course, I disagree with any violent protests. I disagree with looting and rioting. But when we've been having these peaceful protests for a long time now and nothing's changing, maybe whatever is necessary to establish that change must come next. And I guess if you're regarding American civilians that are reacting appropriately, justifiably to the loss of life at the hands of some hate-filled fuckboy that you have granted authority as a battle space that needs to be dominated, You can silence these ideas, you can silence these people in your brain, right? But if you make martyrs out of them, it'll get way worse. I'm holding my tongue on a lot of these issues. I think it's really hilarious how many people are virtue signaling. I think it's really hilarious how many people are desperate to make this situation about them because God forbid a fucking day go by where you're not fucking the center of attention and you don't have the spotlight and you don't need to be the guy that's speaking because I've done this, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm just as thankful for you influencers and you people that want to be seen and you virtue signalers as anybody else, because at the end of the day, you're increasing the turnout. You're showing the people above what needs to be seen to establish some instrumental change. So we're all in this together. And whether or not people are doing things for the right or the wrong reasons, maybe things changing thereafter is an end that I will kind of bow at the means that it took to get there. Pretty crazy. Somebody said he wants his own Tiananmen Square. He thinks the strength in the photo is the tanks. That is hilarious. That sums up Trump. That he could look at a Tiananmen Square fucking photo and think that, oh my God, yeah, you've just missed the point. You've missed the point. What a man. What an old man. Ain't nothing to talk about with that old. Damn YNK. You know, I appreciate the hell out of you, man. You were really instrumental in the past month in helping not only me, but the Dia take the edge off of the world. Things are a bit intense, and worse, they're crippling in the sense of, you know, what everybody's coming at us with. Especially YouTube, man. YouTube is not playing and just like trying to end everybody. But I guess I should consider myself lucky to still be here and have an avenue to you guys whom I love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking. If you're somehow new and you stumbled onto this video, what am I supposed to tell you? To subscribe? Is that what you want to hear? You know, go to this. This is a link to the Discord if you want notifications on when the streams are going to go. That's not a Discord link, my nigga. Well, damn, I guess I put it at the top, you know? Here it is. Here's the Discord link at the top. Why did I even copy the fucking Amazon list link? It makes you really wonder. Sometimes I think that things that I put on my clipboard vanish after I paste it one time. I really didn't mean to drop that there. But while you have it, go judge it. You know I love when people go judge the wish list. Wait, I may have put some shit on there recently that y'all don't need to even look at right now. So do that later. Look at the wish list later when I reorganize it. So, again, I want to thank you, YNK. I want to thank my patrons. You guys are literally keeping the internet on around here. I want to thank my sponsors. You guys are keeping the lights on around here. That is not an exaggeration. And both of you together form the Megazord that will help us defeat, you know, the enemies of the world. This shit is getting hilarious. I have got some things to record. I promise I'll come back and stream something for you all day. For those of you who actually give a shit about what you would like for me to play towards tomorrow, I want to hear what you would prefer. You know, I got Minecraft Dungeons, which is kind of like a Diablo style Minecraft game, and I can play that with Dia or with anybody who wants to jump in with me. I think it's on the PS4. I don't know if that game's crossplay like normal Minecraft though, so you'd have to have it on the PS4 probably. I could play more Call of Duty because I'm kind of thinking about playing Warzone if I can get somebody to play with me, because I don't know shit about that game type. That's like the Battle Royale mode in Call of Duty. So we got Minecraft Dungeons, Call of Duty, and what was the other one? Fuck, I was playing something else. Animal Crossing. Whoa, how did I forget that? So it'll be up to you guys. You know, Linda saying Minecraft Dungeons, Bradley saying COD. You guys come to a decision within the Discord, and whoever, you know, wins, or I guess if everybody just votes for something different, I'll flip a coin, you know. You spelled it well enough for me to know what you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure that's correct anyway. So guys, stay out of trouble, you know. I don't want to hear shit about what Kanye bitch has got to say. My God. To be honest, it's a big shocker that Captain Attention, like, I think Kanye West is the most attention-starved man in existence. Like, he is the thirstiest man, not for clout specifically, but he just needs everybody's attention, like all eyes on him at all times, more so than Trump. Believe it or not, the mugshots of all 4 cops arrested for the murder of George Floyd. I really hated this Asian motherfucker, and I needed to calm myself, because this bitch, his name is literally Toe, the husky toe, the big toe Asian officer at the bottom right. And the reason that I had a big problem with him is in that video, you can hear him when everybody on the sidewalk is objecting to the murder, and they're saying things like he's unresponsive and get off his neck. And one of the women is actually telling him that I think she's a paramedic or something like that, or like a first responder. And this man says, this is why you don't do drugs, kids. Fuck this guy. Fuck Toe. Fuck you right the fuck up. You see this guy on the bottom left? Everybody is saying how he actually was trying to tell the dude, Derek, to get his knee off the other dude. So, and what's terrible is these are mugshot photos. You can tell this bitch been crying, and I feel bad for him. But murder is murder. And y'all had the ability to stop, because the bottom line is, what are we going to do when a bunch of dudes in blue show up? Y'all are law enforcement. Y'all are quote unquote the law. And you show up with your guns and you show up with your badges and you're a bunch of fucking bullies and you're doing something and you're almost challenging everybody else to do something about it. If this was a video game, I wouldn't make a move. Not unless I thought I could take all of y'all out at once. Kyle is hypothetically in a video game situation. I'm not saying that I would ever do something like that in real life. I'm just saying, a lot of these people feel helpless in situations like this. And y'all deserve to be prosecuted within the full extent of the law, man. Who cares? So that's that. The world we live in is crazy. We really do want to see some change here, because it's a bit above and beyond. It's above and beyond. I saw some shit that Obama was saying, and I loved it, because for the most part it looked like he was saying hell yeah. And that's exactly what I like to see.
To the young men and women of color in this country, who, as Plan just so eloquently described, have witnessed too much violence.
Too much. What was he saying?
I go home and I look at the faces of my daughters, Sasha and Malia, and I look at my nephews and nieces. I see limitless potential that deserves to flourish and thrive. And you should be able to learn and make mistakes and live a life of joy. I want to speak directly to the
without the fear of rolling down the street and having that be the end of your life.
Finally had a voice and was represented were young people. And so
the
LGBT community finally had a voice. And
what's up with Mighty Quinn? Mighty Quinn say Hassan Minhaj dropped a deep video. What is that? I don't know shit about that. You just got me. Who is Hassan Minhaj, dude? That sounds like a hot fucking what's the word? He's like a MC. Maybe he's like a recording artist. And is he Indian? Is that name Indian? I just dragged it over into a tab and it didn't open up anything. How do I not know by the name Minaj that this dude could potentially be Indian? Mighty Quinn says he's the host of Patriot Act, which I'm guessing is a show. Okay. And he was calling out the Indian community? Holy shit, are they not getting involved in like a big way because they regard this as not having much to do with them? A lot of people think they're untouchable right now, which is why, what I was saying earlier, I may not have phrased it properly, but what I'm saying is, even to the people who are going out virtue signaling, and I want to say it in a very clear and concise way. I'm not trying to say this for clout. I'm not trying to say this because I think it's a hot take or I consider myself edgy. I want you all to know right now, some people have constantly broken arms. Why are their arms broken? Because they spend their whole fucking day jacking themselves off. You understand me? And what do I mean when I say that? I mean that they wouldn't be able to pass up an opportunity to go stand on a street corner, take a picture of themselves with a bunch of people, and then say, I supported the protests against black people. And you know why? Because that can be their new card to say, I'm not racist. I just attended a protest over George Floyd's murder. And that's what, bro, you know how many videos I used to see on a daily basis of some bitches just going, oh, well, I'm not racist because of this. So what this is going to become is like an ultimate photo op for a virtue signaler. A lot of these people are going to run out and they're going to take these pictures and they're going to be out amongst these people and say, yeah, I'm fighting for this. It's the fight that I've been waiting for. Here I am. Because it'll be the ultimate, how like a woman with kids is dying to show you pictures of her kid that you're really uninterested in. This is going to be the new virtue signalers. I have a black friend. Look at my wallet. I was at this protest. And while I want to be amused and just be like, my God, it's all about you. None of this is important for the right reasons. I'm glad that they're out there. I'm glad that they're bolstering the numbers. Do you understand? Because I need the top to look down and fear. And to speak to Mighty Quinn as it pertains to this person that is calling out the Indian community, just like some of the white people right now who believe that, this is just a stupid little inconvenience and a thing that needs to wrap itself up because I'm trying to go back to get my movies and get my hair done. And you know what I mean? And this is also, the world just needs to go back to normal already. You know what I mean? That's an inconvenience for them. One fucking day, it'll come for you. And the funny thing about that day is it's already fucking past. Just because y'all don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. The cops have been bullies, not just to blacks. It's been disparaged. Obviously, it's been a lot worse for black people, but that doesn't mean that they haven't absolutely just illegally bullied some people, have taken their lives, have gotten away with literal murder, break the law on sometimes a daily basis and always get away with it. And because people aren't seeing that, they can pretend that it's not what's going on. But it affects white people. It affects Asians. It affects obviously the Hispanics and the blacks. It affects the Indians as well. Nobody is safe from the power that is granted to these police officers. And you've heard me before on these streams refer to it as a force field. The force field thick when you a cop. The force field even thicker when you white. Unless you sprinkle in a little bit of ingredients like these people know some people, these people have a little bit of money, They're very close with the prosecutors and the DAs and the judges, and we all went to high school together, and all kinds of shit is just going to get swept under the rug because of who they know, because they white, because they're law enforcement. And this types of shit is exactly what needs the attention right now. A lot of people are hanging back because they think it is only a fight for the blacks. But things changing will benefit everyone. Things changing will benefit everyone. And I'm glad, because I didn't think we'd see anything like this in our lifetime. And even Obama was saying that.
Cesar Chavez was a young man. Malcolm X was a young man. The leaders of the feminist movement were young people. Leaders of union movements were young people. The leaders of the environmental movement in this country. And
like what I love about him addressing all of this shit is he isn't just immediately attacking anybody as if to let me tell you something about gaming. I'm a real hardcore gamer, and you guys know that. You see me dropping 8 hours on a video game when it comes out like it ain't no thing. The bottom line is, in that industry, we got a lot of fake ass motherfuckers. We got a lot of corny ass females that literally want to start a bunch of shit. I'm talking literally, not figuratively, literally start a fire. And then when they get burned, try to blame everybody else, try to play the victim card when they are in this situation because of them. You know that meme where somebody's riding a bike and then they put the fucking bar in between the wheels and they fall over and then they cry out as if it's somebody else's fault, whether they're blaming the patriarchy or people around them? That's what's going on in the gaming industry in a big way. Some people do something that deliberately is hostile and sometimes openly ferocious towards a group of people or a person, and then when it gets flipped back on them, they are the biggest victim, and they're going to talk about just the worst of the things that they've seen in their comment section. You know that I've had death threats made at me. So just like what's going on right now are the protests that are majority peaceful, happening in response to this absolutely terrible thing that's occurred. You get this crusty ass ketchup man president that is literally only going to focus on the bad, the riots, the looting, and we need to dominate the battle space because that's the bad thing that's going on. So of course you get these old white people who only absorb mainstream media, who only get their news directly from the president, and who only agree wholeheartedly with whatever they're told to agree with by whatever bastards that they watch and listen to. So they're just going to view this as, from their observatory on a cliff, a good couple of, light years away from what is actually going on. They're going to assume that it is only as bad as, people are saying that it is. And that ain't very bad. But it's getting wild, boy. And until something fundamentally changes, because I want to go back. I want to look at my own video here, guys. Kyle George Floyd. And I'm just going to be using that as a bookmark. Because yesterday is when they got the dude in custody. Or they got all of the dudes, so to speak. Excuse me. Let me see. All right, a week ago is when I made that video. So a week ago, somebody got murdered, and it took them a full week to get those cops behind bars. And let me tell you something very plainly, very clear. Let me say it, in a way that you must agree with because you understood. You understand. If the reaction wasn't this, those cops would all be free men. Because shit like this happens all the time. And the sad part is, the cameras aren't always rolling. That's the saddest part. Cameras ain't always rolling. So some of the people who went out, they went out in silence. And that kind of sucks. It's nuts. Michael says, do you think personally that those protests do anything? Of course they do, dude. They're already having a frightening response, the ripples of which will be felt for years to come. You understand? The protests have happened in every state. I'm so proud to be an American. Because I'm seeing that my fellow man, fuck their race, dude, are standing up, whatever the reason, against this inequality. And it's a common foe. These cops have lost their damn mind. And when they go out there and they make it worse, as terrible as it is to say, the same way that a racist was high-fiving when they killed this black man, I want to fucking put my fist in the air when I see these ignorant ass fucking police officers fuck up even more on a daily basis. They fucking up at these peaceful protests. They fucking up, firing tear gas into groups of people who are peacefully demonstrating. It's a peaceful protest. They're standing there, they're talking, they're raising their signs, and that's it. You're firing rubber bullets into these crowds of people. You hitting kids. You're giving them fucking footage, my nigga. This is internet fucking gold. These videos gonna go viral because you throwing tear gas at fucking kids. You're taking a gun and shooting in the face of a reporter, my nigga. This dude ain't here to fucking yell at y'all and say shit that's gonna make your dick feel even smaller. These people are here just to document what's happening, and they are documenting you knowing that you're being recorded as a police officer and still firing at the face. They blinded a reporter one time. Y'all are arresting people that ain't doing nothing. I saw a video the other day where some shop owners came out to defend their own property to make sure nobody was looting anything, and they were black owners. They were black business owners, and they called the police to help against the looting. And the first thing that the police did when they showed up was arrest the black business owners because they black. They're black, so must be arrest worthy, right, police? Right, police? You asked me the question: is anything happening because of these protesters? Hell yes. Because normally it's only black eyes on these dirty, corrupt ass police officers, but now they got all eyes on them. And every fucking day from now for who knows how long, we're going to be scrutinizing the actions of the police. And you want to know how you hurt people? You hit them where it hurts. You hit them where it hurts. Why do you think you hear me say shit like, oh, the people behind keyboards talking about, oh, my name's Anon, or I'm going to hack into this? They can do 1,000 times more damage than some of the people out there protesting. Does that make the protest not important? No. But I'm saying some of the people behind a keyboard can do some damage. And it's because when you hit people where it hurts, you understand? That's what makes change happen. So when you read something like this where the mayor jumps up and says, guess who's getting their funding cut? 100 to potentially 150 million from your budget. That's change. And it's only the beginning. Do you think that the protests do anything? No, I don't. They are doing something. They have done something, and they will continue to do something. Whether it feels like it or not, you know? A lot of people looking at this with only a couple of the puzzle pieces, but trust me, the more puzzle pieces you get, the clearer the picture is going to become, son. The clearer this whole picture is going to become. Michael says, I really hope it doesn't. What? They brought out some bad cops real quick. Atlanta isn't playing. Boy. It's truly funny though, man. If ever there were a time to just tone it down and not be a fucking cum burger, it would be now. But they can't help themselves. They've been a bully for so long, they don't know any other way. They show up and they just start beating people. Fuck them. My heart goes out to any good cop, to any law-abiding fucking man or woman that is upholding, you know, the virtues of what should be being a police officer. But what we witnessed was definitely not anyone protecting or serving anything but their own selfish fucking desires in taking the life of some dude, bitch, or for real. I love reading shit where it's like, oh, the wife's like, oh, I divorced this guy. Bitch, you got it to protect your corny ass kids at this point. This dude put a target on his fucking back. Not, you know, just like, oh, they could kill him, but like, as like, what a person you are. Look at you. Look at what this is who you are. Shit. Michael Davis says, even if the change is slow, I believe it'll make a difference. The same people who are protesting will be in government positions one day. Yeah, you know, and the truth of the matter is, before all of this went down, when we see Trump and we see a lot of other bullshit and we see people just voting against change like they do all the time, we just think to ourselves, boy, we gotta literally sit and wait out these crotchety old motherfuckers and hope they fucking die. You know, that's all we can do is wait out some of these old dogs that are trying their best to force things to stay the way that they are. But what we need to do is prepare ourselves to fight their descendants, who are being raised up in their image, who are being raised and taught and know nothing other than the way that they have known because they were born into it. We can't let this shit continue though. That's the problem. Mighty Quinn says, it's like having a basket of apples. When you dump them all out, you can see all of them. You can pick out the bad ones real quick. Same people protesting will be in government positions one day. This. Oh boy. Boy. I'm not trying to bring anybody down, which is why, you know, hey boy, I want you involved in my hot video gameplay action. After I get something to eat, clean the room, and actually record some voiceovers for somebody that I should have already fixed up, but the audio is so unclean, I'll get over it. I love ya. I'll see you guys soon. Get into that Discord. Get into the fucking Amazon link. Get into the Discord. Okay. And here is that link. It's funny, my other hand was reacting as my left hand was like, Jesus Christ. All right. Damn, Stripes is awake at 1:29 in the morning. Some of my older videos that were sent to the Shadow Realm have returned. So if you want to go back and make that happen, maybe even make a playlist and just let it run through the night, baby. Oh, damn, baby. Woo! See you guys soon. Love you. Stay safe, man. Whatever you go do, stay safe. And I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes all you got to remember is that you only got one life. You know that? You only have one life, okay? Don't risk it. Bye.